What is going with the ons out there, horror fam? How are y'all doing today, huh? Let's see what we've got going on here. We have Josh Brown in here. What's up, Josh Brown, man? Nice to see your smiling face in here, dude. Oh my goodness. This is like your second week back in a row. Hell yeah. Got Patty Heckman, Chad Edmonds, Unsung Hero wants a sidekick, and John Heckman says, let's go, damn it. Don't worry, we are goings. So, once again, I'm doing this stream with, surprise, my sidekick.
Do I win? Am I the best sidekick?
You're the best sidekick ever of all times. Out of everything we're talking about today, you're like the ultimate sidekick.
This is true. Patty can attest. If anyone has ever been a better sidekick than me.
Oh, yeah?
No.
There's nobody. There's nobody ever.
If anybody ever needs a sidekick.
Okay, here is what we are going to do before we get into the sidekick. So there is some confusion.
Oh, we discovered that there is. Why? I had no idea that there would be confusion over what a sidekick is.
Yes, there is a lot, and I have an example here. But so a sidekick, by definition, a person's assistant or close associate, especially one who has less authority than that person. Example, Sherlock Holmes' bumbling sidekick, Watson. So, what we're going to do is we are going to look over some examples of wrong people. You got it wrong, people. So here, if you go on over to Bloody Disgusting, you will see that the splash image on this article, in addition to their 300 ads that just loaded up, before I can even get to the little baby piece of article I get to here.
Yeah, surfing the interweb has become excessively difficult.
Yeah, it has. It's still loading shit everywhere. The page
I would click off and just explain.
I want to tell people. So, here you have the Lost Boys and you have the Frog Brothers, and which is wrong. We'll get to that. But then you come down, their first pick is Quint from Jaws. Now, do you want to explain why Quint from Jaws is not a sidekick?
Well, Jaws is interesting altogether because it's one of those instances, and I'm going to say that The Lost Boys is the same, where your main character finds an authority in the battle they need to fight, and then your main character becomes the sidekick to the authority.
Yeah.
So Quint is he's the hunter.
Yeah, he is not a sidekick.
The Frog Brothers are the authorities on vampire, you know what I mean? To the extent that these, young kids can be but they are. That's why, Corey Haim's character goes to them.
Yeah.
Is for their authority in vampires.
Yeah.
So they're the authority. And therefore, when he starts fighting with them, he is their sidekick.
Yeah. So now there is a sidekick in Jaws, which did make my list.
There is.
And, it is Hooper. Hooper is the sidekick to everybody because Hooper is not the authority figure to anyone. Chief Brody's running the town.
Right.
Quint is the expert on the shark. He's a shark hunter. He's the expert there. And they're both kind of become his sidekicks on the boat.
The boat. They are both Quint's sidekicks.
So Quint is not a sidekick.
He's not a sidekick.
Okay. And then if you go to, I believe it's page 3 or 4, blah, blah, blah. You got American Werewolf in London.
Okay. So
with Jack.
I think, are we good with?
Yeah. We're good with this. You're done with them. I can tell.
Well, yeah.
So
it's just, yeah.
So
it's just a lot.
There you go. So yeah. So Quint is absolutely not a sidekick. And it's like you said earlier, you said that if it's like people, on some of these lists, now we found some websites that did it correctly by definition, but a lot of these websites got it confused. They were like, no, we are just going to include side characters.
Like your favorite
as
side character is our favorite sidekick.
And that shit could be endless.
That list is literally endless. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some listed like harbingers or, side characters that play their own very specific role. That doesn't make them a sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
That was a keynote for me too. I was like, that's a harbinger.
Exactly.
That's not a sidekick. Like,
so we're just going to go over what we've written down. Some of it is, some movies we've talked about recently. Some of them are not. Once again, I've included all the links in the description below to what we talk about today that go on over to Amazon. So if you want to check some of these out, you are more than welcome to do so. And we get a little bit of kickback from that. A single Texas guy says Leatherface's father was a great sidekick. I would say you're wrong. I would say Leatherface was a great sidekick to him. I would say the cook was running things. And Chop Top and Leatherface and the hitchhiker, they were his little
sidekicks.
minions.
They were his minions.
Yeah. The cook was totally
Leatherface
the one
just happened to
running
be
shit.
his, like his brute force, right?
And then it's kind of solidified in the rest of the series when Leatherface is someone who suffers from mental disabilities, and he is taken care of by his family members too. Leatherface kind of is like the beaten dog. I mean, he really is.
Well,
he really
many
is.
people think of it as like a hunting dog.
Yeah, he is like a hunting dog, and then in some instances, he is like a beaten dog. Like, he does get bullied.
It's kind of hunting dogs.
Yeah, so there you go. There you go. And here's Briggs trying to explain, like Briggs, we're talking about whether or not who the sidekick is, not their family tree here, brother.
He's just trying to clarify. Yeah, he's just trying to clarify.
Oh my God.
Because I actually kind of agree with Briggs about the Hooper. There's no real sidekicks in that trio. Yeah, I didn't like the Jaws discussion at all. It was interesting to me that Bloody Disgusting dropped
Quint
them in
into
there. I was
like yeah,
all three of those characters have agency. Yeah. Like they're not.
They each bring something to the table.
Right. Yeah, it was a weird.
Quint is a college educated, Hooper is a college educated man who's an expert on sharks in general. Brody is the chief of police. Quint is the shark hunter. They all bring something. They're all kind of equal. Nobody is really anyone's sidekick.
Yeah.
In that movie. So
we didn't bring this up to bash on Bloody Disgusting. We just wanted to make sure that we were very clear on the types of characters we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Because we know you guys are going to be throwing in some, and we want to get to everybody.
Well, and two, because it's very easy to include side characters as sidekicks. I think I've made that mistake before in my past, and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of badass side characters, but they don't necessarily constitute as sidekicks. So I'll go ahead and kick us off here. I'm going to start with the thumbnail, Tiffany from Bride of Chucky. Yeah. As we all know, Tiffany becomes Chucky's partner. That's his woman. That's his gal pal. And, when she's introduced, it's in the film Bride of Chucky. Mm-hmm. There you go. She's his bride. Chucky turns her into a doll. And then Tiffany is reliant upon him because he's
been a doll.
And he also knows what it's going to take to get them into human form once again. So Tiffany becomes reliant. But they're a great duo. Right.
He really does take her from a character who has her own agency and turns her into a sidekick.
She is a great partner in crime.
Yeah.
To him. So Tiffany, I'm going with her, Bride of Chucky. What do you got?
Love it. So I went classic for my first pick, although I did go with the comedy version of the classic for my first pick. Yeah. And I chose Igor from Young Frankenstein.
Igor? Why did he make your list?
Because he's hysterical.
Yes?
Yes. If you guys haven't seen Young Frankenstein, it's a spoof version of the Frankenstein story. Igor is the spoof version of Dr. Frankenstein's assistant. Mm-hmm. He's got a hump that moves from side to side. He's got all the jokes. He's fantastic. Marty Feldman plays Igor in Young Frankenstein, and he's brilliant.
Hey, well, there you have it, folks.
Yeah.
Igor from Young Frankensteinians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I am going with pretty much everyone who assists James Woods in John Carpenter's Vampires.
They're all his sidekicks.
They're all his sidekicks. It becomes very evident James Woods is the one who is running things. And he has, it is a group of vampire hunters trying to track down the master vampire. And the master vampire finds them and messes them all up. Except for James Woods and Alec Baldwin, of course. Who kind of becomes like James Woods' main sidekick. But yeah, I'm going with those. I thought that was a really great team of vampire hunters he had together. And Alec Baldwin as his sidekick. Like, even because Alec Baldwin does get bit at one point through the movie, and he still remains loyal to James Woods. And Chad, I don't know how you can call them sidekicks or labor slaves. They were all clearly there on their own free will and partied very hard every night. So a little confused there, but yes, there you go, Briggs. Jack Crow was absolutely calling the shots. And then he gets another great sidekick in the form of Padre. Who at first, they butt heads. There's a clash of heads there. But then Padre really comes around and becomes a vampire killing machine. He feels like part of the team. And they all put their necks on the line for Jack Crow. So I think he has a great, gang of sidekicks there, man.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Now, I will, to acknowledge Chad's comment, I will say, like, sometimes the sidekick does take, like, the role of the labor slave. Like, Renfield, in all of his iterations, is, like, a good example of that, right? Like, and I think more traditionally, Dr. Frankenstein's assistant, which he didn't have in the book, but like in film adaptations where he's got like an assistant, also tends towards the labor slave definition of
totally. But hey, once again, if you enjoy your job, it's not work.
That's true. Igor loves every second of it. Like,
Igor loves every second of it. All the vampire hunters in John Carpenter's Vampires love what they do, and they even celebrate at the end of the day, like 1, 2, 3, 6 goons, man. So yeah.
And we did realize when making our list that almost every single vampire film has a sidekick. So
we tried to cut a little bit of the fat there.
Yeah,
because we just did best vampire movies yesterday and the day before, so we don't want to do a lot of overlap, a lot of redundancies there.
Yeah, so if the character was simply just a labor slave, somebody who got Dracula or whatever master vampire, all this stuff they needed, we just left them off the list.
Yeah.
I think the only one I ended up putting on my list was Whistler from Blade. Because he is an old vampire hunter who has been so beaten to hell over the years that now he just is kind of Blade's like man in the chair. For those of you who follow comic book lingo, he's the guy who gets Blade all his weapons, who, teaches him all kinds of new tricks, things like that, but isn't doing the heavy lifting of the hunting himself anymore. So, but he's an awesome character, played by Chris Christopherson. He's just grizzled. And
he's like Blade's the equivalent to Q to James Bond in Golden or the 007 movies.
Yeah.
Right. Like he comes on, he's like, check out this sweet ass gadget I have here. Yeah, there you go. Chad Edmonds. We think alike here.
Yeah.
He's like, he's Blade's Q. Yeah, he is. He's like, check out this sweet new gun I made. Check out this new, Ultra Cross with Jesus power.
Yeah, I think the one thing he does have up on Q is that he has been in the field. Right?
Yeah.
And Q is definitely like, whoa, no, I would never use this. but you should.
Yeah, here you go, bro.
Whistler is not that. Whistler's like, well, I'll fucking use it. I'll
kick their ass, bro. This is field-tested material here, boss.
Right. And that's what's so fun about Whistler as his own character is,
Now, I do actually want to get to this comment,
Sure.
instead of waiting until the end here.
Uh-huh.
Single text guy asks, who would you guys say is a sidekick in From Dusk Till Dawn? Now, I actually, I was contemplating this. I was actually thinking about this, and then I was like, I'm just going to drop it because I don't want a lot of redundancies on the list after talking about best vampire films last night. But this is a really good question here.
Yeah.
Who is the sidekick in From Dusk Till Dawn? I would say, shit, man.
Can I hop in? Because you seem so hesitant.
I would say Juliette Lewis definitely becomes
a
sidekick to Seth Gecko. And it's like almost like everybody is almost a sidekick to Seth.
Well, and this is the deal. Richie is supposed to be Seth's sidekick.
Yeah, he is, but he is chaotic.
Right? Like he is. He's chaotic evil.
Yeah.
He goes off the rails, and he's who ruins all of their plans. Right?
Yeah, he is unreliable.
Right.
So Richie isn't
right.
I mean, they're both like because Richie does things because Richie does things that takes the lead.
Right,
because he's chaotic, and it causes them it changes their path that they're going. So he's actually leading shit, but it comes from a very chaotic place.
Yeah.
And Seth is the more mature leader, though. So it's very weird. So I would say Juliette Lewis. Well, pretty much everybody becomes reliant on Seth Gecko, really. I mean, he's, he holds people hostages. So that puts him in a position of power immediate. And then once it's time to hunt vampires, he really, he's the one who goes out there and gets it done.
Yeah, Chad mentions the father played by Harvey Keitel. The only reason I would argue with that is because he maintains his own agency the whole film. He has his own authority. He's the one who brings basically spiritual authority to the vampire hunting.
Mm-hmm.
He offers a skill set no one else has. So that's the only reason why I would argue.
There you go. Pokemon is in here asking, how was the movie? Y'all watched it today? No, we watched it yesterday and covered it in an entire stream yesterday. We talk about it for like the first 10, 15 minutes of that stream. So if you haven't checked it out, go back and watch that. We do a really good rundown of what we thought of Renfield. Briggs, I'm going to star your comment, and I will get back to that definitely by the end. Farron B comes up with a great one. Great one. Deputy Russell in the Crazies remake. That is a phenomenal pick right there.
Absolutely. He's like one of your favorites.
He is one of my favorite sidekicks.
You quote him and everything.
Yeah. So in the Crazies, a town has been overrun by a virus, essentially, like a new illness that
biological warfare,
a pandemic.
Yeah.
And our main character is, of course, the sheriff played by Timothy Olyphant, and his deputy is his best friend, Russell.
Yeah.
And Russell is 100%. I mean, he's a cop, but he is there number one for his best friend.
He is. Absolutely. That's why he's.
I pray to God by the time I leave this earth, I have a friend like Deputy Russell in the Crazies. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I said by the time I'm out of here, when shit hits the fan, I need Deputy Russell. I have a feeling that would be my Joshua Brown. Okay, I have no problem killing for you. Hey,
Samuel Stokes, welcome to the stream, dude.
Yeah, what's up, Samuel? Glad to have you in here, man. But absolutely a great point there, Farron.
You hurt Briggs's feelings.
I'm sorry, Briggs, but you have dropped the ball on some moments when I really counted on you, brother. I didn't want to say anything, but
Not Briggs.
See, and then there comes Josh. You know it, bud. Damn right. I knew, because Josh always there when I really need him when the shit hits the fan. He'd kill zombies. He'd come kick my door and be like, Steve, we gotta get out of here. There's zombies. We're gonna kill them all. Me and you, bro. Matter of fact, when Josh was making his own little army, I was one of the people he contacted. So there you go, baby. Briggs, you know I love you. Come on. I was just teasing. Bro, look, it comes down, your one big mistake, okay? I didn't want to embarrass you on stream. It was when we were in Charleston, the capital of West Virginia, that night, and you got lost, and it looked like we were in the same area where Catherine Hicks bought Chucky off of that homeless dude in the original Child's Play. And Briggs has got me lost just driving. This place sucks. I hate these roads. They don't know how to make roads. It felt like the damn, we're in Child's Play or a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Maybe that night you were Briggs's sidekick.
I'm the leader. He's got to get me out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, Briggs. Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
So there you go, Briggs. If your sense of direction was a little better, you could be my Russell. You know what I'm saying? You could be my Russell, Briggs. But
buy some maps.
Yeah, but Josh has and Josh will get us there. And he will get us out.
Briggs, let's say he got you out alive.
Yeah, Josh is a professional driver. Patty says she was your sidekick too.
Oh, thanks, Patty.
Yeah, Patty is definitely, we got to have her in the group. She's our medic.
Yeah, straight up.
She is our medic. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and here's one for you folks.
Okay.
Here's one you don't hear talked about too often. And this one's a little bit debatable, so it will be interesting to see what some of you say, but I'm going with Bert from Tremors. Now, as you all know, in Tremors, it follows Fredward and Kevin Bacon.
We love you, Fredward.
Val and Earl.
Yep.
And, graboids have invaded their little dusty desert town. Which are these giant worms that live underground and they eat people. They eat the residents of their little town, but like Val and Earl are your main characters and they're trying to get the Bigsby and, get help. They're trying to do all this. And then Bert is, he's the man with the guns. We're talking big guns here. And, Bert is definitely not in a leadership position, no matter, I think, how much he wants to be. Still, the whole thing is reliant on Val and Earl, Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward. Like what they say kind of goes, and that they're definitely the leaders of the group. That's how people look up to them.
Gotcha.
So Bert's amazing. He has all the guns, like I said, and he whips some serious ass. He is someone you want on your team, but he is not the leader. Do people agree with me on that?
I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
And Samuel says Reba was amazing. Yes. Reba McEntire is Bert's wife. She is incredible.
Awesome.
She has about the same kind of pull as Bert, and I think she may even have a little more, like she pulls the reins a little bit on him,
All right, it looks like Chad has to head out. Have a good afternoon, Chad. We'll see you later.
Goodbye, Chad. We'll see you later. He's like, oh my God. He mentioned Bert from Tremors. That is way too much testosterone for me. too much T levels in here. But Bert from Tremors, my friend, I'm gonna try to pull up a picture of him just to give you all an idea. Okay. This is if Google will stop being a dick, I think this is the perfect sum up of Bert from Tremors. Bert Gummer. There you go, folks. Look at him.
Oh my God.
Got him a nice little 50 cal there, just ready to, now he does become like the main character in Tremors 3 for sure. And probably the rest of the franchise. But as far as, when they start off, JK, what's up, brother Jack dude? Glad you made it to the stream, man. It's totally cool. We will take all the JK we can get, rain or shine, brother. All right, so Bert from Tremors, what's your next pick, baby?
For sure.
Baby dolls.
My next pick, I went with another really traditional type of sidekick. And I went with Chaz Kramer from Constantine. He is like, you could put him like when trying to define what a sidekick is. You could put his picture up. Like that's That's what a sidekick is, people.
Folks, let me tell you something. You never knew it, but sidekicks sometimes come in the form of Shia LaBeouf.
Sometimes they do.
Of old Boofster there.
It might be my favorite role of Shia LaBeouf's. And he is the, 16-year-old, he can't be more than that.
No,
16, 17-year-old sidekick, literally, to John Constantine, Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
So he's basically trying to mentor under John Constantine. He's like, I want to be a demon hunter when I grow up.
Yeah, I want to be a demon hunter.
But he drives the car. He, helps keep Constantine supplied. He was born to sidekick.
Pokemon agrees.
It's awesome.
And the diabolical Dr. LaBeouf was born to sidekick. Yes. Amen. Because even Ren Stevens was running the show on Even Stevens Briggs.
Yeah, Samuel Stokes, Whistler from Blade, was my last pick.
Yeah, totally was.
He was.
Totally.
Yep. So,
okay.
Same wavelength, dude.
Yeah, hells yeah.
These are sidekicks.
Hells yeah, brother.
Yep.
Woo! All right. Here we go. I've already mentioned Hooper from Jawsy Waz.
Oh, okay. So this was, I remember now from what's beneath our list of Hooper from Jaws, how that came up. So sometimes a main character can become a sidekick when they find an authority to help them solve their problem.
Yeah.
Once they're on the boat, right?
Once they're on the boat, Hooper and Chief Brody are Quint's bitches.
Right? They are officially sidekicks.
They're like, get down there and practice tying knots, bitch.
Right.
This is your job today.
And that came up because in the same kind of vein, Corey Haim's character becomes the Frog Brothers' sidekick once he recruits them to lead him on a vampire hunt. Right?
He totally does.
Now he's he's just progressing the story. He never becomes the side character, but he does become the sidekick.
He totally
becomes the sidekick.
He totally does.
So,
I mean, it's just like
he does what they tell him to.
And if people want to get technical, then all the vampires are just sidekicks to David. There you go. We know David's leading that group.
Yeah, but he's kind of created a family.
Yeah, he totally has. But anyway,
which is different.
I am going with for my next pick. This is one that I think a lot of people don't talk about. They don't look at this person in that way.
Right.
I'm going with Megan from Friday the 13th, Part 6. Now, in Friday the 13th, Part 6, it is a continuation of the Tommy Jarvis plot line. Tommy Jarvis was, of course, afflicted by the curse of Jason Voorhees as a child.
Yeah.
Terrorized his family, and now Tommy Jarvis is a grown-up. He's an adult. He's out of the mental asylum. Mm-hmm. And he is ready to go and take on Jason Voorhees back at Crystal Lake. And there he runs into the sheriff's daughter, whom is Maggie. And she totally becomes his sidekick. Now, in the beginning, another great one we get is Hawes, who is totally Tommy Jarvis's sidekick in the very beginning of the film. And I just want to throw that out there because we love Hawes so much. He only lasts 2 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
But he does what he can to help Tommy. But Megan...
He does.
Megan, nobody will believe Tommy Jarvis. As you can see here, Megan's dad
is the
sheriff, and he's giving Tommy the biz here. And then here we see Tommy's behind bars.
Yeah.
It's the sheriff's walking Maggie away. He's like, come on, you can't be doing this. Come on.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I feel like it is actually very rare for the love interest to become a full-fledged sidekick.
She totally does.
So, a lot of times she gets dragged through the scarier parts of the film. you know, but that is not true for Megan. Like, she dives full, and she,
well, I
the
mean,
way she drives that car,
the way she drives that, because so she tells Tommy, like, hide that heap of shit you got as a truck. I'm going to help you find your supplies. Get in my Camaro, greatest car ever made. But when Tommy gets locked up, Megan right here busts him out of jail. That is a picture of her. She tricked Deputy Rick Cologne out of his gun.
Hated characters.
Yeah, she tricks him and busts Tommy out of jail. She cruises along. She lets him drive her Camaro. Nobody drives that puppy but her. That's because Tommy is so authoritative. But then, after Tommy's out of jail and he goes and he gets the upper hand on Jason Voorhees, Tommy actually drowns in the lake, and Megan goes and saves his life.
She does.
So,
yeah.
So Megan becomes a total sidekick.
God, that's almost when you ask, is she like a secondary hero? But
she almost is. But there's elements that totally make her, a sidekick.
For sure. Because she has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But she believes him.
And then at the end, she does become her own hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, so does everyone agree Megan is a sidekick from Friday 13th Part 6? Yeah. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up, man, all the way.
Yeah.
All right, now it's your pick there, baby love.
Which one am I going with next?
And I'll tell you, folks, while she thinks about her next one, if you thought that was a weird pick, I have some really weird stuff on my list that people don't think about.
I was gonna say we start to get our, and this is, I would say, is definitely mine is kind of an interesting one. It's gonna be interesting what people have to say about it. But Hicks to Ripley in Aliens.
Woo!
And absolutely, the moment he says, "Nuke it from orbit," it's the only way to be sure. He has become Ripley's sidekick.
Yes, totally.
Yep.
Totally. Look at Ripley. There she is. Everybody's her sidekick. Because Ripley is a teetotal badass, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's not how the film starts. It's not where Ripley wants it to go. She is an extremely reluctant hero in this film. But she is the authority on how these creatures work.
Yep.
And once the team of Marines gets decimated, Hicks becomes her sidekick.
He totally does.
He does.
He totally does. Like, he listens to her. Like, he realizes at one point, like, we should respect this woman. Like, she,
doing it our way has gotten most of us killed.
Has gotten most of us killed. We should lend our ears to her experiences.
Yeah.
And then Ripley takes the reins. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to, but yeah, Hicks absolutely becomes her sidekick. Nuke it from orbit.
Nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
The only way, my friends.
The only way to be sure.
Yeah, here we go. Samuel Stokes agrees with us. That's a good pick. Hicks. Absolutely.
The good doctor agrees with us as well.
Yeah, there you go. And the doc also agreed. He's like, man, I never thought about Megan from Friday 13th Part 6 like that, but it's a thinker.
Yeah.
It's one that makes you think, man. I tried, hey, me, man. Sometimes, I'll go against that grain. I'll be like, I'm gonna find stuff that nobody talks about.
Well, it's funny because this is what happened for us. So we thought, like, or I guess I should say, like, when Renfield was coming out and we needed 30 topics, I was like, Renfield, sidekicks. Like, we absolutely should do sidekicks.
Yeah.
And then when we sat down to make our list, unless we wanted to list literally every vampire's henchman, and call them great sidekicks, and some of them aren't, they're just henchmen, right? Like, they're just they're not easy to find unless you think about it. Like, because too many people are willing to list just random side characters. Well, it was a sidekick. Like, ones that kept making the list were Laurie's friends in the Halloween film. I was like, they just die. Like, they're not sidekicks. Like,
yeah, come on.
So
man.
Stuff like that. So, but it forced us to really kind of dig in and like think about like what actually makes a sidekick and what makes a good sidekick. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, what is up, everything Order Collector? We got you in the stream, man. A rare treat, but we love you, man. Glad to have you in here. We'll take, just like JK, we'll take any and all of you we can get, brother man. Tonight we're talking about sidekicks. You're getting in a little late. We just got over some great picks and even some controversial ones, but I'm about to throw up another controversial pick. Okay. So don't you worry. Hold on to your seat, man. I need some opinions on this one. I'm not even sure about this one. Ooh. But it popped into my mind.
Okay.
And I want to get people's opinions on it, but I think this counts as a sidekick here.
Okay.
A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors follows once again Freddy Krueger. He is plaguing the town of Elm Street. He's killing all the teenagers, and this time teenagers have been sent to the mental health ward because they're complaining about this man that's invading their dreams. They won't sleep. They're suicidal, stuff like this. And this is where they've ended up. And now you're thinking, well, who the hell would be the sidekick in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors? Nancy Thompson. I think everyone is her sidekick. Because Nancy Thompson, Nancy from the original movie, does come back in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. And she helps these kids and these doctors as much as she can. And it saves lives. And she is she's the expert on Freddy Krueger. Mm-hmm. She, that's how nobody has been able to reach these kids. The doctors won't listen. Oh, you're suicidal. Oh, what, blah, blah, blah did. That was weak. Yeah. We need to treat this with traditional medicine and traditional psychiatric techniques and blah, 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 blah. Nancy comes in and connects with these children.
Yeah, she knows
what they're afflicted by.
Yeah.
And she is the only adult that these kids will listen to and trust.
And she's who convinces them to fight back.
And she convinces them to fight back. And the teens follow her. Yeah. No matter what it is. Of course, they're afraid to go to sleep. But the teens trust Nancy to guide them into the dream world.
Yep.
And I think, that being said, I think the Dream Warriors are a sidekick to Nancy Thompson. Nancy even dies at the end, to save everybody.
Yeah.
To kill Freddy.
This is another one that I think is a real thinker because I could see arguments against it, but I also am like.
Yeah, because, for God's sakes, the movie's even called A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. So it's like, well, how could the main characters, the main folk. They are.
But they really are just kind of this loose group of kids who have no idea what to do.
Yeah, Freddy would clearly pick them off until one by one.
She comes in and leads them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they all aid her. And here you can see they're all holding her body, comforting her as,
Yeah.
She passes on. And it's, and she is the only one who would stand up and fight the establishment and everything for these kids. So she is fighting for them in multiple ways. She's fighting Freddy Krueger. She's fighting the head of the hospital here. She's having to sweet talk Lawrence Fishburne. And, look at that. And then she rushes to their aid. Right here, man, they're devastated. Jennifer just got killed in the damn TV set. Nobody will listen to, well, that must have been another selfish suicide. It's like, what? But they're devastated. They don't know what to do. And Nancy rushes back and helps them. Their survival hinges on Nancy Thompson.
Yep.
Like I said, another hot take here, but I would love to hear. And I think Freddy Krueger got our chat because it has died since I brought this up.
Right.
So where are you folks, man? Get in here and let me know what you think on my pick of A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. And the Dream Warriors being a sidekick to Nancy Thompson. I have blown some minds right now.
Yeah. I don't know.
Everybody is like, oh my God, Steven, you have a 3,000 IQ. and you've just put that on display. You are, Rick and Morty tier. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So the next bunch on our list are actually your pick. So I'm going to do the one that I was going to let you talk about, even though it was I came up with it, but now I don't have anything else to talk about, so I'm going to steal it. I'm stealing it.
Well, thank you, Samuel Stokes. That's a great pick. Steve. And then Briggs is like, yeah, let me give you a little bit of a compliment, but also let's make it backhanded. So, I agree, but it doesn't blow my mind. Dream Warriors are the classic teens with attitude. Let me fart into this wine glass and smell it. I am the diabolical
all
doctor.
Of our picks from my boy. As a matter of fact, I keep saying, a lot of mine are very traditional sidekicks. So.
And then Unsung Hero comes in and is like, yes, Steven, I agree. You are super smart. Nancy was the leader. And just like you're the leader of the Big PP Club, Steve. Unsung Hero. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I'm finally getting some respect around here. I'm getting rewarded. I'm getting, attention brought to my talents and what I bring to the, Pokemon's like, Freddy sucks, Steven rules. Thank you, Pokemon. You know what? I love you all, man.
My pick.
It's your pick, but go ahead. You know what? You're a great sidekick. You go ahead, sweetie. You go ahead. I'll be sitting over here with my superior intellect.
Oh, he's gonna have such a terrible night tonight. With your superior intellect, okay.
Look at Unsung Hero. There, you are a smart man.
You can be Con to my James D. Kirk. That's
wait, what?
Yeah.
No.
With your superior intellect. All right, my next pick was Amanda from the Saw films.
It is a crime that I totally forgot. It's a crime that I hadn't thought of it yet because I wouldn't have forgot about it. Dang it. I didn't forget. But yes, she's like, babe, Amanda from Saw.
You're welcome.
I'm like, oh my God. Yes, she becomes Jigsaw's apprentice.
Yeah. AKA sidekick.
She totally does. Played by horror legend Shawnee Smith. But, originally, she was tested in a game of her own. As you can see, Jigsaw captured her. She was a drug addict. And he put her in the legendary reverse bear trap, which she was able to get out of and be reborn. And now she becomes a sidekick because of it.
Yeah.
John wanted her to carry on his life's work.
Yeah. But like Briggs says, she lets him down. She is another Richie, right? She is chaotic evil. And even though she's supposed to be a sidekick, she goes a bit off the rails.
Yes, she totally does. And
yeah, absolutely. Unsung Hero, she breaks the rules. She does. And she pays
She
for
was
it.
She was a sidekick, but a terrible one. She kept breaking all of Jigsaw's rules.
Yep.
Absolutely, but she was his sidekick. She was his assistant.
And she's a sidekick we all love to hate. Like, she's a villain we all love to hate. She's...
So if you watch only the first two movies, she's a great sidekick, and even in part of the third one. But she great sidekick. Great sidekick. It's just terrible what happens. And Chad asks, but isn't Gordon more of a sidekick than Amanda?
You answer that better than I would.
There's
I haven't finished them.
It's not kind of better or worse. It's just Amanda is like really the first confirmed sidekick that we get.
Oh, so she's just the first sidekick.
So I mean, of course, because then you could be like, well, Detective Hoffman was a sidekick too, or you could be like, Jill Tuck to a degree. But yeah, I'm going with Amanda. Amanda was the first, and
but was Gordon a better sidekick?
I don't know.
I know the question is put more, but does he become a better sidekick? then because right, like we are talking about the fact that eventually Amanda fails in her sidekick.
I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything for Anna. She hasn't seen everything yet. Not a lot of it. But you know what I'm saying? Like there's yeah, I'm going with Amanda because, you know, like the original Saw trilogy is kind of like almost its own entity to some people.
Oh, okay.
And that concludes the Amanda storyline.
Okay, so Briggs comes in with Gordon does prove to be a more faithful sidekick than...
Yeah. But also Amanda got the better movies.
So... well, that sucks for Gordon then. But there you go, Chad. Briggs comes in, he's a more faithful sidekick. Yeah. And
Everything Horror Collector says the hitchhiker on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the best sidekick. We actually talked about that earlier, Everything Horror Collector. We consider, or at least I do, I consider everyone a sidekick to the cook. You know, depending on, you know, which iteration of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the hitchhiker is a good sidekick. Leatherface is a good sidekick. You know. So next up, and here is a good one. I know Briggs is about to jump all over this. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this up. I'm going with, so Bree says Grandpa ain't the sidekick. He's royalty. Oh, Briggs, that's why I love you. Okay, so no, Briggs. So, okay, so I'm going with Critters. The movie Critters, which is an unseen, underrated film that follows a family on a farm, and space aliens have invaded their little town and their farmhouse as well. And these they're like cute little, like almost like Sonic the Hedgehogs that roll around and shoot pins and needles and shit out at people.
And eat them.
And eat them and all that. So Critters, great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a lot of fun. Link in the description below. But here we go. The sidekick from the movie and the series, Charlie, played by Don Opper, is a great sidekick, period. You know, his character, you know, he is the assistant to Bradley, this little kid, and his family who own the farm. You know, he's an assistant to them, a worker.
Like a farmhand?
He's like a farmhand and also like a little bit of a mechanic, but he's also... you know, the town looks at him as a bumbling idiot or like the town drunk. He's unreliable. You can't believe anything he says. But it's clear that, you know, Charlie is really close with Bradley, loves him to death, and wants to help these people as much as he can. He's a really good guy. And when these critters come, like he tries to warn everybody, of course, nobody listens to him, but he wants to help out as much as he can. And eventually becomes a bounty hunter himself and, you know, gets to help people as a bounty hunter. He kills Kreitz. You know what I'm saying? So I think Charlie is a great sidekick, both to Bradley and his family, but also to the bounty hunters, who it's their job to kill Kreitz. I love that. And Anna loves this woman here and her busty Krite killing attire.
Oh, she cracks me up. Like, it's so, yeah, she's great.
She's great. She's phenomenal.
Anna
loves her. That's all you gotta.
I love Critters.
Yeah, I absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So Critters is my pick. Yeah, Unsung Hero said he's a good dude. Much like me. Thank you, Unsung Hero. Unsung Hero is just lavishing me with compliments tonight. I'm really digging the vibe we have in the stream tonight, my friend.
Is that all you want? You just want everybody to agree with you?
I want everybody. Well, I don't want only people to agree with it, but I want them to be like, yes, Steven, I can see that movie now. You know, initially I didn't agree, but now I can see that movie in a totally new light. Now
I get it. He wants the horror fam to all be his sidekicks.
Yeah, I want. Whoa, babe, whoa, hey,
now.
babe, come on now, but now that your word has been spoken, Stephen, I can see that you have enlightened me. Thank you, unsung hero. Thank you.
He wants us all to be minions.
Yes, thank you. Well, you're a great sidekick, sweetie.
Now, pal.
You're a great sidekick, sweetie. Okay, so next, it's up to you, Bubby.
Stealing your coffee.
It's up to you. Oh my God, she's stealing coffee, and some of these, JK, I will get to that comment here in just a little bit because we're nearing the end of our list, folks, as well. So if you want to go ahead and send in your questions and comments, now is the time to make that happen. And we will get to those.
Yeah, if he sees a comment that's not about one of the movies we're talking about, he puts it over. He's keeping them. He's keeping track. So don't worry. He does.
Yeah, don't worry. I get to all of your comments.
He will do that.
Let's see. What have you got next there, baby?
So now I have to start stealing yours because we finished.
Wait a minute. Stealing mine,
Yeah,
then maybe I should just go.
No, I'm going. Clovis.
What?
Clovis, the kitty cat.
Damn it, I wanted to do Clovis!
I stole
That's
it.
a totally unique pick!
I stole it.
Oh my God! Why would you do this to me? Okay, everybody, Clovis from Sleepwalkers is my pick.
That's a kitty cat.
And we talked about Sleepwalkers a little bit the other night on some of the best vampire movies, but let me tell you something. Don't mess with Clovis!
Don't mess with Clovis.
And here it says it right, because a cat who can bring together a whole army of cats to kill you is definitely a cat with whom not to mess.
Yeah.
But so Clovis, and look at Stephen King with Clovis, that lucky son of a bitch. But as you can see, Clovis is this cop's cat.
Yeah. And
he is, so Sleepwalkers is arguably a vampire film. But it is this son and his mother moved to a town. They moved to different towns throughout their life and try to survive off of the life force of other humans. But their one weakness is cats. Cats can see them in their true form. So as a matter of fact, when Clovis looks at, here's a sleepwalker, when he looks at the man, he, as you can see, he has no control over his appearance because sleepwalkers make themselves look human on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But their true form is like this thing.
This weird cat
amalgam
man.
So when Clovis looks at him, this is what happens to that guy, and he gets actually scared. So Clovis and cats are kind of our only hope against the sleepwalkers. And as you can see, originally Clovis belonged to this deputy here, and unfortunately the deputy gets killed. But Clovis does save the day when this asshole attacks my forever love, Machinomic, in the cemetery. Clovis totally saves the day.
Yeah.
And then Clovis shows up, with a damn army of cats to kill the sleepwalkers by the end of the film. And here's the deputy and Clovis there.
See, so all I did was list it. You got to talk about it.
Thank you, baby.
So what are you mad about?
You are the best fucking sidekick.
See?
That is why you're a great sidekick.
Yeah.
But, and this is actually a really great picture here. I really like whoever did this. You are a hero among horror fans. But Clovis becomes a sidekick to the humans. So that's why Clovis made the list. Thank you all for hearing my passionate speech about...
maybe Clovis is just the actual hero of
film. Clovis is the hero of the screw. It should just be called Clovis the movie. So let's see here. I had one last pick, and it is also a cat.
It's another cat.
I'll be very brief on this one, but it is. Here we go, folks. Can you guess who it is? Can you guess who it is? It is Thackeray Binks from Hocus Pocus. Because he becomes a great sidekick to the teenagers.
And the only thing that stops him from being the hero and the teens from being the sidekicks is he's not capable of doing anything on his own.
Yeah, because he's a cat. You know, so he helps out the teens as much as he possibly can, and especially little Danny there. Yeah, once again, look at little Danny and Thackeray Binks.
But you could argue the teens are his minions.
Oh, look at the Funko Pop of Thackeray Binks. That's just, come on. Okay, folks, so I'm going to go get a cat after the stream today. So,
I like no more cats because she's allergic.
Yeah. Oh my God. Patty is good. Yeah. So, the General is a great sidekick too, Briggs, from Stephen King's Cat's Eye.
Yes.
That's a good one, Briggs. Good job, man.
Yeah. See, we love the cats.
Chad, we have just come to the conclusion that you hate everything, man. Or everything is very blah. So you're fine. I still have yet to watch Hocus Pocus 2. I love the original, but I still have yet to watch Hocus Pocus 2. But I have actually heard very blah things about that, unfortunately.
What can you do?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I did pick a great sidekick. Thank you, John. Anna, you...
He said I picked a good sidekick. Anna picked a great sidekick. You are my sidekick.
Oh no! Come on now.
Big John said.
John got a hold of some of Stefan's wine. There you go, Stingley. General may be, I don't know, but either way, General is a badass. Okay, let's get to some of these comments I looked through here. Everything Horror Collector wants to know, what is date night tonight? So everything, we have both, ever since I got that weird headache that night on stream, like I have not been well, and I'm not saying like, oh my God, I'm dying over here. My throat hurts. I can't get out of bed. My penis fell off. I'm not saying that.
Thank God.
Thank God. Well, that is the source of all my power. But
neither of us are feeling all that well.
Yeah, I've felt weird. Like I've felt off. Like I get a light head. I've had like a light headache since then. Like kind of comes and goes, but is mostly always there at some level. But then also I get like these weird like queasy bouts.
Yeah.
So date night tonight is probably going to...
Date night in.
Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to stay in.
And stay cozy.
You know, I even offered to go pick up dinner for Anna, and she was even like, oh, no, I don't even like doing that.
I don't want to go anywhere.
So I don't even think we're going to get dinner out. I think we're just going to stay in, and whatever happens, happens, man. We're pretty much just going with the flow today.
Yeah, we just need some rest, I think.
Yeah.
We're just going to take it easy. So,
but
thank you for asking.
Yeah, thank you for asking, man. And yeah, so today is, let's see here. We are the 15th.
Yeah.
This is the last Saturday I will be streaming, my friends. How about that shit?
Wow.
And then after today, we only have 5 days left until the ultimate Talk Horror Bash. That's
going to be so fun. Are you guys ready for the bash? I'm ready.
Yeah. I know. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be fun.
We have plans. And here we go. We're going to look some of these up. You know, some that we definitely. I'm looking at some here, and Briggs brings up a good one. Are we going to miss Nagi Bo? We actually talked about Nagi from Cemetery Man before we came on, and for some reason he didn't make the list. But yes, Nagi is a great sidekick.
Yeah, I forgot to write him down, and I forgot to write down what's his well, now of course we've talked about so much now I'm blanking. What's his name? Torgo, something like that, from Manos the Hand. Vanos, the Hands of Fate.
Let's not go there.
He's a
Right
great
now.
sidekick. He's
Let's
got
not go there right now.
Total
Oh my
henchman.
god!
He's
Oh
like-
my god! Oh my god! With the Manos Hands of Fate. Oh my god!
Torgo, yes, Torgo from
Oh my
Manos Hands of Fate.
I'm moving on. You have ruined this. Single text, almost know. Julia is a great sidekick to Frank in the first Hellraiser. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't. Yes, that's a great pick. I didn't think about that, but
Yeah.
Julia is like his Renfield. Yes, master. Let me bring you food, master.
Oh. Yeah, totally.
But good job, single text guy, man. JK says, how about Tommy Jarvis in the final chapter? Tommy Jarvis was a good, like, he was like everybody's friend. And he, you know, and yeah, I don't know. That's hard to look at. Whether or not he was a good sidekick. He, you know, because it kind of revolves around Tommy, but also Trish and Rob and all them. And it's like, yeah, so Tommy may be a sidekick in Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And let's see here. Let's see. Dr. Briggs wants to know, oh, hell, are you guys going to mention Specs and Tucker from Insidious?
We didn't.
We didn't, but now we did.
They're absolutely sidekicks.
Yeah.
Like.
So Lynn Shay.
Yeah.
Yeah, total great sidekicks to her. And James, or Lee 1L with the role of a lifetime right there, Briggs. Does Charlie Brewster become the sidekick when Peter Vincent joins him, or does he stay the main hero? I think Charlie Brewster he's like a circumstantial character. It's like whatever happens, Charlie Brewster doesn't really facilitate that. You know, he's like a victim to the situation or something.
He's such an odd character, but the thing is so is Peter Vincent is such an odd character because Charlie absolutely goes to Peter for authority, but Peter doesn't feel like he has any. Like, first of all, he doesn't believe him. Then it's like once he doesn't believe he actually has any real authority because he just plays a bit part. You know what I mean? Like, so the whole thing is mushy.
Who knows?
Right? Like, it's a little.
Well, it's just like,
you definitely, I think you're right. Like, you definitely, in Fright, I have characters where things happen to them as opposed to anybody who takes like strong, like leadership and authority, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
But maybe.
but maybe.
It is a good point. Yeah.
Oh God, what's his name? Humperdinck. What's his? I'm blanking on his real name right now.
Chris Sarandon.
Chris Sarandon. I had Chris. I couldn't think of the last name of Chris. You know, it's just like every woman ever when they watched that movie became Chris Sarandon's sidekick, Briggs. They're like, yes, we want you, Chris.
Are love slaves also sidekicks? I don't.
Like you wouldn't do anything for Chris Sarandon. Get out of here.
You know, I wish he's so Prince Humphrey.
Did you hear it? I wish.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's.
Did you hear it? Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it.
No, my point being that he's Prince Humphrey. Like, I wish that character could take forethought in my mind, but he can't.
He will forever be Prince Humpy.
Forever be Prince Humperdinck to me.
He's forever Prince Humpy.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. Pokemon says she is ready for Anna Betty by Reedy time. That's coming tomorrow. So you better get your notifications on and ready
for tomorrow's Sleepy by Reedy time.
Yeah. Chad Evans is the dog the sidekick in Don't Breathe. Sure. Yeah. I don't, I've only seen that once and I don't remember.
I know that was my problem too. I'm like, I only saw that once.
But then again, maybe it may be like kind of like the Hounds of Hell.
A lot of times, like dogs, yeah. I don't think they get utilized enough as good sidekicks because in real life they are, right? Like they're the best sidekicks.
Single Text Guy wants to know, could Gale and Dewey be considered sidekicks in the Scream franchise? I don't know, because they're kind of doing their own damn thing.
That was my issue with it too. It's like, they're great side characters.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think they're sidekicks.
But I don't think, but they're not specifically like under
anyone.
What's her name's leadership?
Nev Campbell, Sidney Prescott.
Sydney. That I was trying to think of the character's name. They're not necessarily under Sydney's like authority. They're not fighting. Like she's not leading their charge, kind of thing. Like they're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I think sometimes Dewey accidentally slips into being Gale's sidekick, but it's always on accident.
Yeah.
He doesn't mean to be.
Yeah, totally. And he's always willing to take that leadership. Like, no, I'm leaving you, Gale. All you care about is your book, your phony, your bullshit. Go away, Courtney Cox. You're weird. Unsung Hero wants to know, is Sarah Connor the T-800 sidekick in Terminator 2? No, because I would say everybody, God, I really don't know, but I would say no, because the T-800 doesn't have authority over them. The T-800 has to do exactly what John Connor says. And Sarah Connor,
right?
And Sarah Connor, remember he makes him stand on one leg and then he's like, pick that douchebag up, and he picks him up by his hair. He's like, get that panty waist out of here. But
I think they more become like a fighting duo, don't they? Like once.
Yeah, and Sarah Connor actually goes on. Sarah Connor has her own mission. She's like, I am not under anyone. They don't want to kill, innocent people, blah, blah, blah. She goes and tries to kill Dyson.
Yeah.
On her own.
Yeah.
So I don't think Sarah is anybody's sidekick.
Yeah.
She is John Connor's mother first and foremost, and she doesn't give a shit about the Terminator or what it wants or what its directives are. A better argument would be the original Terminator. If you want to ask if Sarah Connor is like a sidekick to Kyle Reese. Yeah. That's probably more of a...
Yeah, but even then, she's not, right? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like JK's response to the last conversation we were having, which is Dewey is definitely sidekick adjacent. Totally. Well, and it's funny, I'm going to steal that because some great verbiage there is I would say in the first Terminator film, Sarah Connor becomes sidekick adjacent, but she has she has no idea what's going on. She is under massive duress the whole film.
Yeah.
So I don't even think she ever elevates all the way to sidekick. Yes, right? She just, what she does is fight for her damn life at the very end of the movie.
Yes.
And that's,
So that's my answer on that. That's all I've got to say on that. Let's see here. Every Sunday is Anna Banana Reedy Time. Pokemon, you can't just rename what I have already named for the past month. It's Anna's Betty Bye Reedy Time.
Anna's Betty Bye.
But yes, every Sunday Anna is going to grace us with her precious.
Well, this will be the last
lovely
Sunday.
Voice. This will be the last Sunday. Tomorrow is the last of Anna's Betty Bye Reedy Time.
Yeah, so if you enjoy Anna's Betty Bye Reedy Time,
you better be in here tomorrow because we are.
Or if you haven't yet experienced Anna's Betty Bye Reedy Time, come on in.
Come on in. It's fun. It's a blast.
Chance.
Yeah, it is a blast. And Chad, who would you consider the sidekick in Halloween 78?
No one.
No one. I don't think there is one.
Yeah. Well, because if you I don't think you have two different hero tracks, I would say, in the movie. Yeah. You've got Dr. Loomis and you've got Laurie, and their stories do not meet.
Yeah.
Right? So they're neither can be sidekickish, and no one is helping Laurie.
Yeah.
None of her her friends die, and it's which is horrible. I'm not saying that, but they're not.
Yeah.
No one is helping Laurie, and no one is helping Dr. Loomis. Not in that sidekick sort of way.
Yeah, and JK, he does bring up, maybe bracket as Loomis's sidekick in Halloween 78. That's I would still say no. They're both, it's not like, Brackett is still unsure on what the hell has gone on, but he is a cop.
Yeah.
And Loomis, he kind of, his character unfortunately gets shit on a lot by like a lot of people, like almost like nobody takes Loomis seriously. Like he's been telling y'all this shit forever. So unfortunately, it's like, if anything, they're kind of equal. Like Brackett is just kind of like, it's just like I can call a cop right now and be like, look, this is going on. The cop's going to show up for me. That doesn't make him my sidekick.
Right. He does kind of keep him almost like he's keeping an eye on him more than anything else. Maybe. I don't know. That's just.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of running around together and stuff. So they're more kind of like a crime fighting duo, I guess. Like Brackett will entertain this idea for the night. But sidekicks, nah. Not in Halloween, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I do believe that is everything for the night. We have plowed through this list. Once again, the links are in the description below. If you folks haven't seen some of the movies we've talked about, you definitely need to.
Oh, we got one more comment. And I haven't seen the movie Chained, so I don't know. Have you?
Excuse me. And I do want to get to a question though. Just kind of like go ahead and answer this in advance for people.
Oh, okay.
People want to know, because I've mentioned the Talk Horror Ultimate Bash is coming up, and we will be taking guests on the show that night, and you don't have to call it. You don't have to do really anything. Like I'm going to set that up. I will send you a link. So just everybody who wants to be on, contact me. I've dropped my email in the chat there a few times, or go to my YouTube and click on the About section. You will find my email. Just email me if you want to be on. I will make sure you have the link that will enable you to join the stream. I will probably send those out a bit late on the night of, because the thing is, like, I got to be careful with the links that are generated. Like, they can expire, I would assume. Okay. And, I got to make sure nobody else gets their hands on them besides the horror fam, or you never know. 300 people could be trying to get in and we can't. So that's why I'm saying it's like you gotta RSVP for this shit. You gotta get into contact with me to make it happen, because I don't want to just post the link on my social outlets and then literally everybody can, because trolls and stuff will get on the air and do something silly. So there you go. Single text guy throws in Ash's boomstick and Army of Darkness. Yes, great sidekick. Hells yeah.
Oh, funny. Night, Patty.
All right. Good night, Patty. We'll see you, Patty, tomorrow for Anna's Betty Bye Ready time. She'll be reading us yet another Goosebumps book.
Yay.
Could be one we've already tackled. Maybe not. Could be something fresh. I don't know. Just have to wait and see.
Big John said it's also peace now. Bye.
Goodbye, Big John. All right, my friends. We're getting the hell out of here. We're going to get us something to munch on, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for coming in. This is the last Saturday I'll be doing this. So thank you all for being here with me for this. Remember, each stream counts from here on out. After my 30 days of Talk Horror is up, I'm going back to the once a week streams.
That's right.
So if you want all the Steve you can handle, make sure you get your butts in here this week, my friends. All right, well, we'll see you all tomorrow. It's cool hanging out with you too. We love you all, man. Until next time, look horror, listen horror, talk. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Bye. Yeah, party time.